So we want to do numbers 17 and 19 in 7.5, basically because i's and the confusingness. Okay, so for 17 we have 2i times 3i, and they've helpfully put parentheses around these, right? The parentheses at all necessary?
Yes. No, for the first
Yeah.
one.
Not on this one, because really what they mean here is take 2 times I, right? And multiply it by 3 times I. Everything I'm doing is multiplication, right? So the parentheses don't change the order of operations at all. So this is just 2 times I times 3 times I. Okay, so how would you write this?
6i squared.
Okay, awesome. We'd write this as 6i squared, and then we know what I squared is, right?
I squared is negative 1.
I squared is negative 1. And really, that's the only thing we need to remember about complex numbers. It's just that I squared is negative 1. It's the only fact we need. So what's 6 times negative 1?
Negative 6.
Negative 6. How is this different than any of the problems I would have done in like maybe Algebra 1 when I was first learning about powers? This step right here.
Yeah.
I squared is negative 1. That's really the only thing you need to know. So here in 19 where I've got 2i times the quantity 3 minus 5i, how would I do this if I was a variable?
Distribute?
Yeah. So I should do the same thing, right? I being a number, no problem. So what do I get out of the distributing?
6i squared.
Okay, so I get 2i times, I'm going to go 2 times I times 3 minus 2 times I times 5 times I.
Right.
This is a little overkill, right? Because most of you are saying, yeah, that's 6i minus, oops, minus what?
10i squared.
10i squared. And then what's the new thing? Yeah, I know that I squared is negative 1, right? Only new thing. So I get 6i plus 10. And then is this in standard form?
No.
No. Is it the right answer? Yeah, totally. If you want to write it in standard form, how would you write this in standard form? Yeah, the real bit should come first. So this should be 10 plus 6i. Cool? Questions? Thanks?
Yeah, I was just about to ask why like variables and stuff usually go first in order, but I always comes last.
Oh. There isn't a good reason. This is just a convention. Yeah. There's kind of a good reason that you would put I like this. And this is a little bit beyond the scope, so if you want to shut your brain off now, you can disengage your brain from here, right? But really, we might think about this as the point 10, 6. And that would actually give us a nice way to graph complex numbers. And this is, again, just a kind of a thing that we picked. When we want to draw complex numbers, we draw them this way. There's kind of two pieces, right? There's a real bit and an imaginary bit, or a complex bit. So I put our usual number line this way, then I put a copy of it that I'm going to call the imaginary number line this way. And then I can graph this 10 plus 6i as a number. You guys see that? That's kind of the complex number analogy of the number line is this complex plane. Again, though, that's a little bit beyond the scope. But that's why you might put it second, because you're thinking about it as a y coordinate. That help a little bit? Anything else on this?
Why is I squared negative 1?
Purely because we said that it was. So remember, this I comes out of this thing like, okay, x squared equals negative 1 doesn't have an answer in this place, right? right? And the real numbers, there's not a real number so that this works.
It's really nice and slow reading compounds.
Yeah, so I just would like to be able to solve all the quadratics for a good reason, but one that's maybe, at this point, just like, collect them all, right? Like, you'd want to get the answers. These things are relatively simple. You should be able to get the answer. Well, you run across this a whole bunch. And so you might just say, okay, look, I'm tired of this crap. I'm just going to call it something, and we'll just move on. And that's exactly what we did. We just said, okay, if this, well, we'll call xi, and then we'll move on with our life. So this means the same thing as x is plus or minus I. Does that make sense? It's really just a definition. It's like, hey, I needed a name for that, so I labeled it I. Other thing?